The meditation that I've selected is titled As the Year Winds Down, written by Mark Stringer. As the year winds down to its close, and we are submerged once again in the seasonal darkness we have come to know so well, we have reason to think back upon the year that was, if only because it will soon be gone. We think back to the friends we have made, the sorrow that we have endured, the love that we've found, and the loneliness that we've survived. We think back to the blessings of being forgiven and the gift we offered to ourselves when we forgave. We think back to those who listened to us in our times of need and the times when we could have listened more. We think back to the things we traded for our time and to what we may have overlooked in that process. We think back to the times when we were afraid and uncertain, and we trudged ahead anyway, and the times when we were compassionate when we could have been cold. In this season of still growing night, may we see more clearly against the dark backdrop of our living, the true light of our lives, the love we give to others, and the peace we nurture in ourselves. I invite you to join me in our closing hymn, number 168, One More Step.
I did want to say just a few words in closing. I did not expect the number of you that are here from my past, one church or another, from Pentecost, Lutheran, and also from Advent. But if you'd be so kind as to try to stay a few minutes so I can thank you personally, and maybe we can join in the fellowship time downstairs. And two things I also wanted to lift up about the message. Not only my message, of course, but the message of the Unitarian Church. One of them is, I know that the Unitarian Church studies and knows all different world religions and scriptures. I was excited to find this New York Times Magazine article last week about Robert Alter, who spent 25 years, he's Jewish, he's fluent in Hebrew, rewriting the entire Old Testament. Rewriting it because up until now, most translations of both the Old and New Testaments came from the King James Bible. Very, very bad practice, because what was the common language of the day when King James was translated is nowhere near what we understand it to be today. So if you have a chance to see that or run across it, please do. The title is After More Than 2 Decades of Work, a New Hebrew Bible to Rival the King James. And before I read the Declaration of Principles, which will wrap things up, one of our dear friends at Lasada, where I hold Friday services, her daughter was in Paradise, California, during the fire. And she was so distraught because the daughter called her and said, "Mother, I just want to say I love you because I don't think I'm getting out of this." And she was driving in her car, and there was fire everywhere. And she made it. We're grateful for that. But last Friday, she handed me this little brochure that the daughter had sent to her. And it says in one of the quotations, "Each act of kindness brings blessings and reduces the suffering in the world." With just about everything we sang and said today, the cover says, "With blessings from Tzu Chi," which is a Buddhist foundation. And inside of this brochure, to every resident that lost a home in the Paradise Fire was $500 for some immediate support. Every single one. No one asked what religion they are. No one asked, do they go to church? No one asked anything, but knew that this was the appropriate thing to do. And so I conclude with a reading called Babylon 5, the Isa Declaration of Principles. I often find God speaks so beautifully through the arts, often more powerfully than anywhere else. And here's the reading. The universe speaks in many languages, but only one voice. The language is not Narn, or human, or Centauri, or Gaim, or Minbari. It speaks in the language of hope. It speaks in the language of trust. It speaks in the language of strength and the language of compassion. It is the language of the heart and the language of the soul. But always it is the same voice. It is the voice of our ancestors speaking through us, and the voice of our inheritors waiting to be born. It is the small, still voice that says we are one, no matter the blood, no matter the skin, no matter the world, no matter the star, we are one. No matter the pain, no matter the darkness, no matter the loss, no matter the fear, we are one. Here, gathered together in common cause, we agree to recognize this singular truth and this singular rule that we must be kind to one another, because each voice enriches us and ennobles us, and each voice lost diminishes us. We are the voice of the universe, the soul of creation, the fire that will light the way to a better future. We are one. Imagine.
I want to remind everyone there is coffee being served downstairs, and I have one brief final announcement. There's going to be an event going on here at UCN on New Year's Eve, and it's New Year's Eve Kirtan. It's open to the public, and it's arranged by Yoga True North. It'll be from 7:30 until 12:30. There will be food catered by Bollywood Grill, and there will be mocktails. So you could perhaps bring in the new year with this. Admission is $40 at the door. Thank you.